And most of you will know that to do anything in life, it takes stamina and commitment. You know, we've got that saying, 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. And I think there's a lot of truth in that. But the thing is, we only have a certain amount of energy, time, and money. And they're the three things that really we need to achieve most things in life. And so that balance is a whole nother topic as well. But if we're thinking about 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration, then the perspiration is the hard part and the commitment part. So one of the things I want you just to write down some questions for yourself as we go along. You can answer them in your head or you can share them with me later, but how long are you willing to do the thing for? So if you think of your goal, whatever it is that you would like to achieve, either in your work or your personal life, are you looking for a quick fix? Are you wanting it to, like, are you saying, okay, in a week I want to be there, I want to have achieved this? Or are you saying, well, I'll give myself 12 months, actually I'll give myself 3 years? How long are you willing to do it for? Because we have willpower, and willpower will help us to push forward for a certain amount of time. But willpower itself is not strong enough. We need routine, we need support, we need structure, we need a whole heap of other things. We need the right mindset, because we also have want power. And that's where I won't do it. And that's the secret little voice in our head going, nah, don't worry about it. You can let yourself off the hook. You don't need to worry. And when we give into that, that voice is actually louder than the willpower, because the willpower is like pushing stuff up a hill. It's hard work. Want power is wheeling down the hill on a sledge going, wee, I won't do it, I'm free. And that's fun and it's easy. And our brain is wired to be in the negative. It's wired to be in the I won't do that. It's wired to keep us safe. So we have to work. It's actually 5 times harder to be in a positive space. Because as soon as we get a message from the universe, an external event, we immediately go into problem mode. How can I deal with this? It's all the negatives that jump up. If someone's not kind to you, if they say something mean, research has shown that they need to say or do 5 things to counterbalance that one negative. 5, just so you like them again. And it's been proven through MRI scans where if somebody makes you feel good, there's certain bits of the brain that light up. And then if somebody makes you feel terrible, other parts of the brain light up. It takes 5 positive comments, pictures, words, kindnesses for that original part of the happy brain to light up. And that's why we find it so hard in relationships, both at home and at work, because people think if they say sorry, that's enough and everything's okay again. But deep down, our mind's like, no, wait a minute. You imagine it's a fearful thing. You're like a tiger that attacked me. And you can say sorry, but I'm still in fear mode. You need to prove to me 4 or 5 other things where I can build my trust in you again. And it's not just with other people, it's with ourselves. We have to do that for ourselves. So how long are you willing to go on with something that's a challenge? The other thing then is, I tell my clients this and they laugh, but if we can take emotion out of I'm going to say take emotion out of goal setting, and then I'm going to actually later tell you that emotion is really important. Positive emotion is really important. What I'm going to say to you is, if in achieving something, if you can be like a robot gets programmed and it executes what it's programmed to do. It doesn't think, it doesn't question it, it doesn't doubt it, it doesn't delete the video or the message or the programming. It just does what it's told. And in achieving anything, action is, it's the word that we don't like, and it's the thing that we struggle with most, but it's the thing that gets results. So if you can be like a robot and take the emotion out of the action when you're having to do something and say, okay, I've said I'm going to do this, I've set myself a timetable, a structure, whatever. And when you start to think, I want to wheelie down the hill rather than pushing the barrel up the hill, you think, no, no, because when I get to that top of that hill, the vision might be fantastic. I'll be able to plant a flag. I'll be able to say, yay, look what I did. I don't want to go back down to the bottom of the hill again. Another thing is what drives you. And this is something that we rarely look at. We know what makes us comfortable. We know what makes us feel good. But if we're constantly going with our feelings, when we're not having good feelings, if we're having bad feelings, then everything's bad. And we don't want that. Want power comes in. So there's a guy called Scott McClelland, and he wrote a book called The Achieving Society. It came out in the 1960s. And he said that we're driven by three main things. It's either authority. So you're somebody that wants to be the leader. You want to have your name above the door. You want to be seen as a leader. You want power. Or it's around achievement. So you want to be seen as someone that you always hit the goals. You're the top of the leaderboard. You're always making the money. You're always the top performer. You're always just achieving every goal you set yourself. You want others to see that you're somebody that if you say you're going to do something, you get it done. And that's what drives you. And for others, it's affiliation. And affiliation is about connection. It's about you want to be part of a community. You want to build connections with people. You're quite heart-centered. You want people to like you. You want to be seen as a nice person. It's all about affiliation. And there are various exercises. Well, I haven't got time to do it today, but if any of you want me to do it with you, we can. And it's about finding out what drives you, because when you know what drives you, so for example, I learned that for me, it's affiliation. It's about community and belonging and all that. If I'm put on a leaderboard, I find it demotivating. So that's not the right environment for me. And when you learn, and if you're somebody that likes authority and power, that's something that will help you strive forward. Then have it in your job, in your business, in your life. So the driver is one thing, motivation is another. I split the word motivation up into two words. There's motive and there's action. If you look at it, it's two different words. Your motive is why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you want what you've chosen to go for? What is the emotional reason behind it or the attachment? And it's really important to find that out, because when the going gets tough, if you don't know why you're doing it, it's easy to go, oh, well, it doesn't matter. I don't care. If you're doing it for someone else and that person's approval, that doesn't really work long term either. So for example, I had one woman I was working with, and she wanted to make more money in her business. And I said, why? She said, oh, we just need more money. And I was like, but what do you need the money for? And it was before COVID. And she said to me, I'd love to take my kids to Disney. I never got as a child. And it's something that I just think would be fabulous and blah, blah, blah. So we did this whole vision board and plan and everything about her taking her kids to Disney. That was the end result. But she needed the money from the business to be able to afford it. So every time she felt like I can't be bothered doing the business, I'd say to her, oh, but remember that picture you had of the kids shaking hands with Mickey Mouse? And that attachment was enough for her. Yeah, I'm doing it for my kids. And often with a lot of us, we're driven, we'll do things for other people in a way that we won't do them for ourselves. So it's about tapping into that as well and saying, well, why am I doing it for them and I'm not doing it for me? And there's a whole self-love thing there that's a whole nother topic. But so write down on your piece of paper now, why are you doing what you're doing? Or why do you want this goal that you're striving for? Is there an emotional attachment to it? And how will you feel if you get it? What would that be like for you if you actually achieved this thing that's niggling away at the back of your head saying, yeah, you should go for this? And a lot of what I do with NLP is through the 5 senses. So also not only what will it look like, what will it feel like, What will you hear? You know, like those kids might be going, oh my God, Mum, we're going to Disney. What will you gain? What will you lose? Because in everything that we want to go for, there's usually something that we need to give up. It might just be that I need to stop watching telly in the evening so I've got time to write my book, or I need to stop being on social media so that I've got time to work on my goal, whatever the things are. But what would you gain? What would you lose? And would there be regret if you didn't achieve this? I'm sure a lot of you here have probably heard there's a book called Regrets of the Dying, in fact, Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. And the woman's first name's Bryony, but I've forgotten her surname. Anyway, you can look it up. And it's really interesting that a lot of the people come up with the same reasons why they are regrets that they all have at the end of their life. So how would you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? Would it be really awful if you didn't achieve this thing? And if not, then are you going for the right goal? You know, is it really that important? So, and a vision board's a great thing, by the way, just using the sense of seeing it every day. You can do it on Pinterest and have it as your saving screen on your phone, which is a good thing. So every morning you get up and you see, this is what I'm working towards, because the brain has to keep hearing messages again and again and again to absorb. So the no regrets as well. So motive is the first part, and action is the second part. So, and this is the bit that we don't like, but we want to be able to align our emotions with the action. If it's something that we enjoy doing, we're much more likely to do it. So if there's something within your business and I don't know, say for me, for example, I want to grow my business, but I really don't enjoy technology, then, and I actually did this, I spent about a year learning Facebook marketing, LinkedIn marketing, how to create a program, how to upload a program, it was the most miserable year of my life because I just don't like it. It just frustrates me. I feel it's a waste of time. And thank God now I've got a VA that does it all for me. And so I can focus on the parts of my business that I really enjoy. And I used to think, oh, I can't afford help and whatever. But I tell you, as soon as you reach out and ask for help, your business will grow because your attention and your time will go to building the business and doing the things that you enjoy. Action also will kill procrastination. So many people I see, and they'll say, oh, I just can't get motivated. I just can't get going. I just can't. And the procrastination usually comes because we don't know how to move forward. It's like, well, I want to do it, but I don't know what the first step is. I don't know what the next step is. And that's where we all need someone to help reflect back to us our blind spots or our weaknesses or shadow side, for want of a better word, because we've all got that. For me, it was that, like, I'm not any good at technology, so why am I busting a gut spending time and energy and money on this and really was getting no results? You get a VA and they start to get results for you. So, and another thing is about putting your goal into the future. So see yourself with the end result. There's a thing I do called timeline therapy, and it's where we kind of float out into the future, and it's a beautiful exercise, and you see yourself having achieved the thing, because they say that you cannot achieve what you cannot be what you cannot see. So if in the mind's eye you can see what it is you want to achieve, the brain goes, oh, okay, I can see it, I can feel it, I can visualize, I can plan it, I can act on it, and yeah, I can make this happen. But if you can't see what you want and you can't see it in your future, then the brain's bobbing about going, I don't quite know how to get this. And that's the procrastination, and that's what keeps us stuck. And we keep trying the things we do know, but they don't move us forward. So someone else being able to say, look, you know how easy it is to solve other people's problems? Like we can all we can all do that. We can look at someone else and say, oh, if you only did this and this and this, it would be fine. And that person's going, well, I'm not going to, because we don't want to be told by somebody else what to do. It needs to come from within. So it's about working on the self at a deep enough level for it to rise to the top and to say, okay, I don't need to procrastinate now because I know exactly what to do. I know why I'm doing it, how I'm going to do it. I've got a plan to do it. I've got a timetable to do it. And then you become a robot and it's, you know, just do it. So another thing is, what do you need to stop doing? I did mention this earlier. So what is it that's missing in your life? Are you missing money? Are you missing time? Or are you missing energy? And what do you need to do to get more of those? Because it's with more of those that you are able to move your business forward or your personal life forward. So if you're saying, I don't have enough time, I've never got enough time, I can't find the time, I tell you now, you will never find the time. You have to make the time. You have to get a diary and put 2-hour slots, break your day down into 2-hour slots where you plan and you put in, okay, I'm going to make these phone calls here. I'm going to do my vision board here. I'm going to work on my goals here. I'm going to meet with my coach here. And you just have it all through. I'm going to do my physical exercise here. And you have it all through the week. And every week you start on a Sunday, you have, okay, what am I going to achieve this week? And what have I got in my calendar and my plan? And then you hold yourself accountable to it. And then there might be something else that says, what do I need to start doing? So what are you not doing? Are you not doing enough marketing? Are you not stepping up? Are you not speaking out? Are you not showing up at events? Are you not putting your hand up and volunteering to help with things? Are you hiding behind things? Are you not writing blogs? Are you not going to networking events? Are you not believing in yourself? So what do you need to start doing? Sorry, I was just looking at the notes then. Somebody said, is it Bronnie Ware? Yeah, that's right, Linda, thank you. Oh, and Sue's saying that the vision board, you can do it on Canva. Absolutely, that's right. Yeah. Thank you for those comments. I didn't see them when they came through. And a big thing is that when, you know, I said at the beginning, we have this growth and then we reach a plateau and we get stuck. There's a real sense of fear before we move on to the next level. And that's natural. You know, that feel the fear and do it anyway. Why that was such a popular book was because everybody feels that anxiety, because the brain's going, I've never been here before, I've never done this before. You know, it's like if you're going to jump off a cliff or jump into a pool, or the first time you ever do it, you go, and then once you do it once, the brain goes, oh, I did that and I didn't die. I could do that again. And it's the same in business. It's the same in any area of your life. But it's about putting yourself into that circumstance in the first place. But we focus on the fear because that voice is going, oh, this is scary. Oh, don't try it. Oh, come back into your comfort zone, because there you can just be happy. But you know, the reason I have so many clients is because your comfort zone is the most uncomfortable place to be, because we don't feel that we're living our purpose. We're not giving back to community the way we want to. We're not using our gifts and talents. We're frustrated because we know that we've got more. And when we have the courage to tap into that and to do it, and I tell you, I mean, this is my 6th year in this business now, and there's not a year gone by where I'm like, I have to do that, and I've got churning in my tummy, and then I've done it and gone, oh, like even the first time I ever had to use Zoom, and it was way before lockdown and everybody was on Zoom. And I remember my coach saying, you have to do these webinars online. And I was like, technology, are you kidding me? So yeah, so it's you know, you're so uncomfortable in your in our comfort zone. So we want to be able to stretch that. So I'd like you to try and change that fear into excitement. It's the same adrenaline that's pumping around your body. And I do presentation skills with people. So before they getting up to do a talk, and there's about stepping into your zone of empowerment stuff. There's exercises we can do. But one of the things is, instead of going, oh, all these people are looking at me and I hope I say the right thing, and there's all this negative, I say to them, this is so exciting. Say to yourself, I've got something to share. The people are here because they want to listen. And this is so exciting that I've got this opportunity to do this. And I tell you, the shift, the adrenaline's still going, the hands might still be a wee bit sweaty, and you might feel your heart pounding, but it's a positive. You know, like choosing to go on something at the fairground, you know, you're going to be scared, but you chose to do it because it's actually scary, exciting, not scary, terrible. So getting into that zone, and there's lots of techniques that I can share with you another time to do that. So most people, when they do a talk on goal setting, we'll talk about SMART goals. Can you just give me a show of hands if you've heard of SMART goals? Most people have heard of SMART goals. Well, SMART goals don't work for me. I tried SMART goals for years and they just didn't work for me. And for those of you that haven't, I'll go through it very quickly and then I'll tell you what I came up. Oh, there's a few of you that haven't heard of them. Great. So I'll go through it and then I'll tell you what happened with me with SMART goals. So it's SMART, so it's SMART, and each one stands for a path you should follow. And the S is for specific. Be really specific when you come to write a goal, because the brain the more specific you are, the more, there's a thing in the brain called the RAS, it's your reticular activation system. And when you're looking for something, it ignites and it starts to put antenna out and see, oh, how can I find this? I don't know if you've ever had the experience where you're maybe buying a new car and then suddenly on the road, you see that kind of car everywhere, or that color of car everywhere, and you suddenly think, oh, this is around me everywhere. So it's because you've fed that, consciously or not, to your brain to say, I would like this model of car in this color. And the brain starts looking for it. It doesn't know that it can only get it in a shop. It just starts looking for it wherever it can find it. So the more specific you are about the model of car, the type, you know, the color of car, the engine of the car, how much you want to pay for the car, how much then the brain will narrow that down. So when we want goals, it needs to be so specific that we can push away the parts that we don't want, so that we're only focused, the brain is only focused on getting us to what we do want. The M is for measurable. So we want to be able to have a goal that we can measure. You know, so it might be sales targets. Well, you can see where you are on a month-to-month basis, and then you can see your progress or not. The A is for achievable. Are the goals achievable, I think? And I know the R is for realistic. I always find those two are quite similar to one another, but are you going for something that you really believe that you can attain? Because if you're not going to achieve it. Don't set yourself a goal that's not achievable, because you're setting yourself up for failure. So it's better to start with a smaller goal and work towards that. And then from there say, okay, well, I've done that. Now I'll have another smaller goal, and then move forward like that. The R is for, oh yeah, sorry, the T is for, oh, I've gone and forgotten. Timed. So we need to have timing. So that's why I said to you at the beginning, do you want to achieve this in a week, in a year, in 3 years? Because if you just say, I want to achieve this, and you don't put a time on it, time will just disappear. It's really important that we, and also then from having the end result in mind and knowing when you want it, that also then gives you the opportunity to set up your goals, set up your plan, and know when you're heading towards it and whether you're making quick progress or not. Anyway, for me, the SMART goals was all very logical, and I'm actually not a very logical person. I'm probably more of I come from an emotional space. And so the thought of writing out a really specific goal and whatever, and I actually think you need both, but that on its own for me, I couldn't get it to work. And around my business, my coach was pushing me to do these goals. So one day I took the dog out for a walk and I just thought, oh, you know, and how specific can I get and what do I really want? And I was kind of going through all of this. And I just had blanks of paper and I couldn't think of anything to write on them. Anyway, when I was out walking the dog, as happens, an idea came to me, a creative idea, which was I saw the word smart backwards. Don't ask me why or how, it just did. And it reads trams. And I created a picture in my mind of a tram. And then I was like, am I on the right track? Am I in the driver's seat or am I sitting up the back? Who's holding on to my tram and holding me back? Who's on there with me and pushing me forward? If I'm going uphill, am I going to give up because it's all too hard? If I get to the top of the hill, what does it look like seeing my vision on my tram? Do I have a timetable? Do I have a plan of where this tram's going? And within literally 10 seconds, this picture of this tram, who was on the tram with me, what was holding me back, what I needed to let go of, how I was going to get there, what timing I needed about it came up as a picture in my mind. And I actually ran into the toilets at the dog park and I grabbed a piece of toilet paper and I wrote it down dead quickly on a piece of toilet because I didn't want to forget. And that is when, and then executing that goal was no bother because there was emotion attached to it. It felt right. It came from within. It wasn't someone else telling me I had to do it, or how to do it, or when to do it, and then I was able to take that. I call them my heart goals, so SMART goals and heart goals. I was able to take my heart goals and tie them in with the SMART goals, but my driver around affiliation and what trams meant for me became much stronger. So then I got even more clever when I got home. I was feeling very proud of myself at this point. And I put a step to each of the T, R, A, M, and S. So I'll share that with you now. The T was for towards, going towards your goal. A tram, you want it to keep going forward. You don't want it to go into reverse. And some people, it might sound a bit obvious that you're going towards your goal, but actually we have away from goals. When we say, I don't want whatever, that's an away from goal. I don't want that. It's actually a negative goal. You're using a negative word and the brain interprets it as such. But the mind doesn't understand a negative. If you're with kids and you say to kids, don't run, and then they run, and you're like, I just said, don't run. You need to say a positive word like walk or stop, not a negative word with what you want, just one positive word. And that's because they don't hear the don't. The mind has to think about running to then choose to not run. So what you're doing every time is you're putting yourself in that negative space to then have to work 5 times harder to get yourself back out of that negative space to get into this forward moving positive goal. And it's such hard work that we just still say, nah, want power is stronger. So make sure it's a positive towards goal. It's what I want, not what you don't want. The R for me is relationships. I just think no matter what we want to do in the world, we need relationships. In the office, you need to get on with your colleagues. You go to buy a coffee, the person needs to make you the coffee. You go on the bus, the driver takes you on the bus. You want to run your business, you need coaches, you need marketing people, you need a support group, you need other networking. We need each other. And it's why I love this work, because everyone has got something unique to bring. And when we have the courage to step into that and to say, okay, I recognize my strength now and I've got this thing and I'm going to share it, that's when we really start to enjoy our work, enjoy our business. And that's, to me, true success. So it comes through. So the R is relationships. The A for me is act as if. And you might have heard this before. It's like, act as if you already have it. Again, this is because the brain needs to be able to see it, feel it, create it. If, you know, like you see a young girl and she's maybe in front of the telly and she's got a tutu on and she tells you she's a ballerina. Like she's watching that telly, she's watching Swan Lake, and she really believes that she is the ballerina. And she'll dance about, and, you know, 3 or 4 years old, and she might just be in a wee world of her own. But that creativity, and that she's acting as if, so by the time she's 10, her brain's already got this dancy prancy pathway in its head. So act as if you've already got the thing. If you're looking for confidence, act as if you've already got the confidence. TRAM. This was huge for me. My goals have to be meaningful. If I'm just creating it for the sake of ticking a box, I'm like, nah, I can't be bothered ticking that box. There needs to be a deeper meaning. There needs to be a greater purpose behind it, and also memorable. So when I was building my business, there was a lot within my family where I was like, I can't do this anymore, can't do that anymore because I'm working on my business. There was a lot of times I had to say no. And that was quite hard for the people around me. And I had to tap into, I'm creating future memories, because by building the business, one, I'm becoming a role model for my daughters. I'm going to earn more money, which means I can take them on, have more treats with them, that I'm living my own purpose. So I'm actually a better wife and mother because I'm happier. There was a whole lot of memories, meaningful things being created as I was building the business. And the S for me is about stability, you know, the whole tram thing, you're on the right track and you're stable. You know, you're not going to go off in different tangents, you're following your path. And I also like to say for the S that it's a big S for smile, because I think we need to be happy in our work. Whatever it is that we're doing, if you don't go in and you're able to smile in the morning, we spend so much time building a business or in an office or whatever, or on our own, or being creative, and that if we don't enjoy it, it's a waste of life, really. And I've been there. I've done things because I felt I had to, or I ought to, or I just landed on them, and I needed the money, or whatever the reasons were. But when we can really tap into what gives us joy, because you'll do it with pleasure if you're enjoying what you're doing. So that's my heart goals and SMART goals, or my trams. I hope you can and maybe do that when we're finished. You know, imagine, you close your eyes and imagine yourself on a tram, and where is it taking you, and just let the unconscious bring to the fore. So the way I like to look at it is the SMART goals are the conscious logical thinking, and the heart goals, or the trams goals, are the emotional unconscious goals, and we need both. I think the secret weapon for everybody is to have a coach, whatever it is, whether it's a business coach, a lifestyle coach, a mindset coach, a sports coach, whatever. Have somebody, not someone in your family that's too close to you that will say, oh, I don't mind what you do, or somebody that says, I want you to do this, or people are very well-meaning and they love us and they care and they want to support, but there's particular training that a coach has that to really help you bring out the best in you, and they have no hidden agenda, because the only thing is they want you to succeed. And so I know with a lot of people, they don't often feel that they can tap into that or afford it, or and my question is, you know, really, can you afford not to? I think it's really important to have that support. So that's the outline. I know I've thrown a lot at you and I've done a lot of talking. I hope it's not been too much, but I wanted to try and give you as much as possible. Kat said, I think you're right about having a coach. Yeah. What was the book title by Scotland McClelland? It is The Achieving Society.